he'd be like editing and smoke coming, billowing out of the door because he was chain smoking, and he'd be like editing all night, and then we'd be filming all day, and there's a donkey walking around. Like it was such a fun, wild, crazy family view askew experience, and it was just nice to be able to have like a little slice of that when we made this one again.
This movie was so freaking good. I got to tell you, like, I go expecting comedy and all that, but I'm like leaving just wiping tears. It was just so emotional. How long has Kevin been talking to you about Clerks III?
We've been talking about it forever, especially like ending pregnant. Like I think filming that in the actual, Clerks store in Jersey in 2006 or whatever it was. Yeah, we've been talking about it since then. Like, what's happening with this baby? When are we going to revisit these characters? You can't wait as long as you did between Clerks and Clerks II. And here we are.
And here we are. I know the story has changed a lot over the years. Did Becky's story change from what he had originally intended? Do you know?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot was different. He had a previous script that he ended up shelving to do Tusk. I think this film was really coming out exactly when it was supposed to, and the storytelling that it was. And thank God he survived his Widowmaker heart attack to make it, because, we hadn't made this film up until now. And so much of what he went through is embedded into this story. So I think it strikes the right chord, it strikes the right note. It's as grave and heavy as it can get at times. Like it resonates, and it's really relatable, and it feels really special and poignant. So it's good. It was worth the wait. Yeah.
Yeah. When you got the call, like, what does Kevin say? He's like, I got the story. We're doing this now.
He texts me.
I just had a heart attack. Like,
oh yeah. No, when I heard about that, I reached out to him, but, when we did Reboot, he had started commencing filming on that the day to the year of his Widowmaker heart attack. So he's been bringing all of us on the journey. And I think that's what's so special when you're watching this film is that as you're seeing it and seeing all of these folks in there doing these background cameos and things and just supporting him. And that's such a major theme of this whole story is like the people on this journey along with you and who's supporting you and recognizing that and celebrating that, even as small or as easy and comfortable and taken for granted as it can be, like that it's right there in front of you. It's probably the best thing in your life. We just overlook it too often. And this was such a great reflection point to kind of reevaluate that.
I can't believe Clerks 2 came out in 2006. Like I feel like it's so, yeah. What is because this movie is kind of a reflection of all of the whole trilogy. So did it dredge up any specific memories of looking back at the making of Clerks 2?
That was a big year. I did Shakespeare in the Park that year. That I remember. That was what I was doing with Oscar Isaac. It was his first project out of Juilliard, and Renee Goldsberry. Like we were doing Two Gentlemen of Verona, and I was reading the script while I was staying at my friend's place, and I was like, "Donkey Show, count me in." And then I was just heading out to LA to start filming on Rent. And I had produced my film Descent with my really good friend Talia Lugassi, who we got nominated for Cassavetes Award this summer. So I remember it was like a really big year because I did like 7 or 8 projects, like back to back, like really big, special, big projects and things that I was producing or developing or whatever. And I was this was so different. It was such a different project, and it was so different from Clerks. So we were all like, are people going to hate this? And so we got to film on location in a motel right next to this place we took over to make into a movies. And, and just like now, because Kevin edited this project and brilliantly, with all the black and white to color, and just it's such a perfect amalgamation of the first and second films. It's so great. But he'd be like editing and smoke coming, billowing out of the door because he was chain smoking, and he'd be like editing all night, and then we'd be filming all day, and there's a donkey walking around. Like it was such a fun, wild, crazy family view askew experience, and it was just nice to be able to have like a little slice of that when we made this one again.
What is Kinky Kelly doing now?
I know. I mean, he was back.
I love it. I love that you just mentioned Rent because you just dredged up. I have like the biggest Rent phase where I really thought I could sing like you and I could not.
I love that like hit with people so much, but that's like like that I love about Clerks, right? It was the same thing as really similar to me with Rent, which is just focusing on these protagonists of the people I grew up around and the experiences, the everyday experiences I had, but not normally seeing that on the big screen or on stage, in any kind of way, and amplify it the way that it was. It's so incredible how iconic that became, like how unusual, that doesn't seem as unusual now. And now we watch all kinds of storytellings on TikTok, in people's living rooms. But back then it was just like so striking to see these two guys working behind a counter, just talking to each other in black and white. Like it was just that dawning moment of independent film, and it feels like all these years later, though you couldn't have like a video store, like who would, like, the premise doesn't even make sense anymore. But that idea of like just being able to have access to a camera and sound and light, and like be able to convey clever storytelling to people, to strangers, and make them family, and by sharing that experience together is just, it's what he's done over all of these years, and where we kind of find ourselves again. Like everybody now can be a Kevin Smith,
Yeah.
It's just cool.
Isn't it wild how much Star Wars references are in all three Clerks films? And now you're freaking
It's so weird. Yeah, he loves it. He eats it up so much. And he kind of convinced me to do this, saying that I was going to be a Force ghost. That didn't happen.
Oh my God.
That would have been cool.
I remember I interviewed you in like, I want to say it was like 2017 or 2018 at New York Comic Con. And you like threw out the Ahsoka thing, like unprompted. And I just love that came to fruition.
Yes. We're still filming it right now. We just have a couple months left. We're starting to get anxiety. It's stressing us out. It's been such a family.
How's it going?
It's going great. Like really amazing. Like learning martial arts in my 40s is a trip, but like super, super amazing. Like it's, and I don't use that word very lightly. We had these, my grandmother used to say, amazing is two blue horses. If you ever said something was amazing, because it'd be like, no, amazing is two blue horses. Like that pizza slice probably isn't amazing. Right.
Right.
And I remember we're shooting something and we're on the volume here. And it's Jon Favreau and Dave, and John, like, that was Swingers. That was also that beginning era. We talk about that as well. Robert Rodriguez was there when I was shooting Mando. Like, it's just amazing to see where we've all kind of still doing what we love, and, and with such new technology and stuff. And I was going on there to look at these creatures, and they had these horses in there with like blue over them. And I just like, I got really teary. And it was just like, oh my God, amazing as two blue horses. And here they are on the volume. Like, this is just like mind boggling, and it's I keep pinching myself. Like it's wild. It's so special. It feels so remarkable. And I think people are going to really love it. We're putting so much blood, sweat, and tears and love into this project. Dave's wanted to make it for so long. Like, I feel so grateful I've gotten to be a part of that kind of storytelling a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kevin's wanted to make this film for years, it just has a different texture to it, So this is the same thing with Ahsoka. Like, Dave's been wanting to do this for years, and you can just feel it. Like it feels so special. It's so well thought out and planned, and then all the things change and stuff, but like it's at the right time, So it's nice to be able to be there in the moment, in the room where it happens.
Oh yeah, in the room where it happens. I love that. I have to wrap, but I do have to say it's just such an honor to be a part of it in some small way, being able to moderate for you guys and all that. So I just really appreciate.
Yes, that was really special. That was a really special moment. Yeah, and you were there in the beginning with me. So yeah.
Love you. All right.
Can't wait to talk to you about it when it comes out.
Yes. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.